Hi guys, coming at you here today with a Venthyr Balanced Druid best in slot items for patch 9.1. This one's hitting up to 11,991 DPS and a single target stem. It goes even higher in multiple targets, add more targets, do more damage, but single target 12k, that's bonkers. Anyways, let's hop right into it. Oh, actually, before we begin, I want to say that this guide prioritizes Mastery and Haste because they're significantly better stats than Versatility and Crit for the way our ramp works. And while Mastery and Haste are our best stats, a Domination Socketed piece is always worth more damage than any combination of stats. And that also goes for higher eye level pieces that have more intellect generally. But higher eye level gear with more stats does not always mean higher DPS if the secondary stats are significantly worse. This is the best in slot gear you can have, but you should always sim yourself to see which pieces of gear sim highest for you. Anyways, with that being said, let's hop right on into it, starting off with the Domination Sockets. First of all, we have the head, which drops from Remnant of Ner'zhul. It drops at eye level 252, and it grants the Chaos set bonus, which is the bonus that we're going to be using. The other set bonuses are the Shoulders of the Crooked Confident. Even though you're not going to be using this set, you still want this piece of gear for the socket itself. This drops from KT at eye level 259, and it grants the Frost set bonus. And the third one is the Chest, which drops at eye level 252 from Eye of the Jailer, and it grants the Blood set bonus. Now, all these eye levels are at the Mythic drop level. They definitely scale. So, for instance, Normal is 226, 239 for Heroic, and then Mythic is 252. Except for the last two bosses, which drop a different eye level, plus 7 levels to the base. Which means eye level 233 for normal, 246 for heroic, and then 259 for mythic. So keep that in mind as we go throughout. Additionally, we have two more domination socket pieces. These do not give a set bonus, but the sockets are so good themselves that you still want to pick these up. These are the Hangman's Knot Binders, which drop from Painsmith Razno, and the Trench Chant Warmonger Treads, which are dropped from Soul Rendered Dormazane. Eye level 226, 239, and 252 for normal, heroic, and mythic, respectively. And we are going to be using the Chaos Bane set, which gives us an insane amount of primary stat that's constantly going. There's no cooldown on this thing, so you're just always sitting at like 100 to 900, extra primary stat. And it's absolutely bonkers. In addition to the Chaos Bane set, we're going to be using all three of those Unholy Shards. We're going to be using the Shard of Core because it increases our damage for 20 seconds after hitting a new enemy, which works really well in boss fights with adds because you're constantly getting these procs that work on everybody. It's just a flat 3% damage. In addition to that, we're going to be using the Blood Shard of Beck, which increases our damage by 2% when you have 50% or more health in your target. Now, this is not 50% like flat damage, this is percent-wise. So if I'm at 100% health and my enemy is at 49% health, that's when I start doing more damage, or I guess 50% health. Same for like 70-20, 80-30, etc., etc. These are the two shards we want to be using. They give us a lot of damage on top of our Chaos Bane set, and this is why we use all 5 Domination Shard socketed pieces. Moving right along to our trinkets, we want both IQD and Instructor's Divine Bell for the Venthyr ramp. This is because you're going to be using probably IQD at the beginning of your ramp, and you're going to get these secondary stats for the beginning part of your ramp, hopefully Haste or Mastery for the damage buff. And then right at the end, you're going to pop Instructor's Divine Bell for the last 9 seconds of your burst window, and this is going to help you get extreme amounts of damage from the last part of your ramp. Because it lasts so long, you can get 2 uses out of your ramp, or 2 trinket uses out of your ramp, so it works really well. For an IQD, you're going to get this from the Great Vault, or you can get it from the other side. If you get it from the other side as a drop, it drops at level 236 from a Mythic 15, and you can upgrade that to 246 through Valor. It drops lower levels in other Mythic difficulties, but if you can get it on 15, that's pretty optimal. And as well as that, we're going to be getting Instructor's Divine Bell, which drops from World Quests, Command Tables, and Calling Treasure Chests that you get at the end of them. And we're thinking it drops at I-230, however, it's unconfirmed right now. We're waiting to see what the World Quest will scale up to with the Renown levels. So it's unclear right now, but we're thinking around eye level 230. As for our weapon, even though it has crit mastery, we don't want crit so much. We do want mastery. This is the best level. This is the best weapon you can get in the game because it drops from KT, who, as we mentioned earlier, drops weapons and gear at 7 eye levels higher than everybody else in the game. This means you can get a weapon at eye level 259, which is insane. So bonkers. So much damage. Lots and lots of intellect. Highly recommend getting your hands on one of those if you can. Definitely worth it. As for our legendary, we're going to be running this on our waste slot, and it is going to be Sinful Hysteria, which each time Ravenous Frenzy is applied, that's our Venthyr cooldown, its duration is going to be increased by 0.2 seconds. So every 5 spells is another second that you get. Additionally, Ravenous Frenzy lingers and will not overcome you for 5 seconds after it ends. That's not as important, but really the duration... I'm sorry, that is very important. That extends your burst period by 5 seconds. And that's in addition to the 0.2 seconds you're getting for every spell. So you're getting like an extra, 10 seconds on your burst window. That's really insane. Because it's not the beginning of your burst window that's going to be extended. It's 10 extra seconds of like full damage amp. It's absolutely great. Definitely recommend you picking that up. And that is how you see all these balanced druids doing like 12, or like 25k damage right on pool. They're using this thing and it's broken. Anyways, going on to our back. We're going to make these quick because these don't have any special things. This is just Dealer Zaya's Cape. Drops from the Great Vault or the other side. Like the Valor upgrades before, drops at 236, can be upgraded to 246. And it's just our best in slot stats. Well, it does verse, but like there's no other cape that's like this. There's no other cape that gives haste mastery, so that's why we're going with this one. For our rings, we're going with Signet of the False Accuser and Death God's Signet. These both give haste mastery. One of them drops from Halls of Atonement, the other drops from the other side. Eye level 252 from the Great Vault, and once again you can upgrade these to 246 with Valor if you get them as a drop. For the necklace, we have Scent Stained Pendant, which drops from 252 at the Great Vault, 236 to 246 from upgrading with Valor. Drops from Halls of Atonement, gives haste mastery, pretty simple stuff. Our wrists, eye level 252 from the Great Vault, 236 to 246 Valor upgrades from Valor. Drops from Plague Fall, and it gives Verse Mastery, but there's nothing else that gives haste mastery, so this is why we're going with these. And for our legs, which I believe is the final piece, eye 259, these drop from KT in the raid, and even though the secondary stats are awful, they give more intellect from eye level 252 legs, like significantly more, which is why they actually end up doing more damage than any other pair of legs. And as you can see, here are our single target sims. On the left over here, you can see these are actually the talents that you would be using. So this would be like number 1 would be, I forget the talent, the one that gives us passive energy. And number 3 is the one that gives us trees. So they're very close, but this is kind of how you read the talents. 11,991 damage is bonkers good. And yeah, if you guys would like to see more content like this, I plan on coming out with a Night Fae guide pretty soon. It's very similar. A lot of the stats are the same. A lot of the pieces of gear are the same. I'd really appreciate it if you could like, if you could subscribe, if you could comment. It helps me out so much. Trying to get this channel monetized. I want to make some money off this eventually, hopefully. And I'd really like to kind of do this as a job. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Peace out.